I just got through watching the Nick Rekieta Vic Mignogna interview, and one thing that I want to say, and I want to reiterate, and I want this to be sung from the mountaintops. Vic Mignogna has to be one of the nicest people that I've ever seen. And he has a heart of pure gold. Now, this is important to understand. That does not mean that he's a perfect person. That doesn't mean that he's flawless in terms of the things that he does. He has certainly made mistakes and he has owned up to that. But you can tell just by listening to him for a couple minutes how genuinely deeply he cares. And you listen to what he says about his fans, you listen to what he says about his work, you even listen to what he says about these malicious people that have tried to drive him into the ground. And he's just not that type of person that you would associate with all the terrible things that people are saying about him, certain people. But the people who are accusing him, you need not listen to them for more than 2 minutes to know that they are exactly those type of people. They are the most vicious, vindictive, stupid, mean-spirited, and downright evil people you can imagine. They exist to try to destroy people because they enjoy it. What they did to Vic, they did because they enjoy it. They get an endorphin rush off of trying to destroy this guy. Because he is a Christian. I don't know if he's a conservative. I don't think he is. I think he's probably not really political at all. I think that he is simply a Christian, and that is enough for some of these people to attempt to destroy his life. And it is really, really sad to see, but it is reality, and that is what we have to deal with. Vic's response to the audience saying things about Monica, don't say mean things about Monica. I understand and I respect what he's saying. I couldn't do that. And in fact, I won't do that. Because Monica is a disgusting piece of trash that doesn't deserve that type of respect. She doesn't deserve to even be mentioned with somebody like Vic. Vic is a kind-hearted, talented person that cares about the fans. Monica Rial is a self-absorbed, fat, disgusting, lesbianic-looking failure that couldn't achieve a fraction of the success that Vic has. So I appreciate and respect what Vic said, but I disagree. I think that people who gleefully and willingly participate in the destruction of other people, that those people should be humiliated. Now, there is a caveat to that. I don't ever think that you should contact anyone. I don't ever think that you should send an email or a tweet or an Instagram post to Monica Rial or Ron Toy or any of them. I don't think you should communicate with them at all. If they're at a convention, don't walk up to their booth and say, you're a bad person. No, simply just walk to the booth that you want and get an autograph from somebody that you like, and that's it. Because the worst thing that you can do to people like these who do all of this stuff for attention and because it feels good is simply to ignore them. Is simply to go about your day. Now, on videos like this, I will call out Monica Rial and anyone else because they'll never watch this video, and you can leave a comment in the section below saying whatever you like about her because she's never going to see it. But do not give them what they want. Do not give them the attention that they want by going to them and telling them these things, that you're a bad person. Don't go to Jamie Markey. And this isn't some kind of code, by the way. This isn't like, well, really what I mean is this. No, do not ever give these people what they want, which is attention. Simply understand that what we're talking about here is a series of behaviors that needs to be identified in order for you to inform yourself and bear yourself into the world. So I'm doing this video not simply to rag on Monica Rial or Ron Toy or Funimation. I mean, all of these things deserve to be ragged on. But the reason I'm doing it is to help people focus. To understand that there are certain things that you need to be reminded are not good and bad. Because the media will tell you one thing. The media will tell you Vic's the bad guy. Monica Rial and these people will tell you Vic's the bad guy. But you need to be reminded by somebody that no, Vic is the good guy. And by good guy, I don't mean he's perfect. I don't mean he's flawless. But in this, he's the victim. He is the person that did nothing to anybody. He did not go out of his way to assault or accost or do anything that he was being accused of. Why on earth, in this entire lawsuit, why would you go to his ex-wife, Vic's ex-wife? Why would you go to these people that have nothing to do with any of this? And why would you use them as a way to try to hurt this guy if it was just about you caring about Vic and him needing to get help? No, it's these people are sick. And watching Vic, you can tell that he just wants it to be over. And he wants the harassment to stop. He wants to live his life. And he made it very clear he doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want this. And I can respect that and understand that. And he shouldn't be forced to. Vic doesn't want to be a culture warrior. He doesn't want to be on the front lines. He just wants to live his life and do what he loves to do. And he should have the freedom to choose that. And that's what I'm fighting for. By exposing these terrible people, these disgusting, parasitic sacks of human garbage, these fat, malicious, ugly women, over the hill, nobody wants anything to do with them. You know, the Jamie Markeys, the Monica Rials, these people that are just foul to their core. They exist to try to get clout and notoriety and try to promote themselves through the destruction of somebody else. The hatred that they have for Vic is not natural. That's not a natural response to something. And if it was that they hated this guy, they should have had the decency to tell him. Say, hey, you know what? Don't want anything to do with you. You know, we don't like you. You're not in our group. At least then it would be understandable that if Vic continued to come and try to, be in their group, but they told him over and over no, then that could be understandable. You could say, well, Vic should have picked up on that. But the way that you see in these pictures and the way that you hear them talk, Vic was a friend. At least that's how they made him feel. That's how the perception was, that they were good friends. So these people are downright evil. They used this guy, they used his position, they used his goodwill, and then at the first opportunity that they thought that they could exploit him or get him kicked out and get him removed, this nasty little group of gossiping nags decided that they were going to destroy him. And you have Sean Schimmel, you've got Chris Sabon, and you've got these weak little weirdos in the voice acting community. So you know what? Fuck all of these people. Fuck Funimation. I don't want anything to do with it. The way I'm using this information is that I'm making more informed decisions about what media I consume, what channels I promote, what people I'm willing to watch. I will go out of my way to make sure that what I'm watching has nothing to do with Monica Rial or Jamie Markey or any of them, because I don't want to support them. Now, if you do, let me be perfectly clear. If you support Monica Rial, if you support Jamie Markey, that's fine. If you like their work and you like what they're doing and you want to support them, you want to get their autograph at a convention, you do it. Go. There is nothing stopping you. I'm not here to tell you what you can and can't do. I'm not your mother or your father. But what I will tell you is that what these people have done is wrong. Absolutely. And I do not for a second believe any of what these people are saying, because the people that have been aligned against Vic, you can see from the articles and the dishonesty, the lies, the misrepresentations, the freaks that have been a part of this, the people that are just, you look at them and they ooze. You're like, oh, God, I can smell you and taste you and look at you at the same time. It's like fucking disgusting. You know these people. You know who they are. You know what they're about. They're malicious, hateful weirdos that exist to try to feel powerful on social media by hurting innocent people. They are trying to destroy people's lives and careers because it amuses them. Because it fills a hole in their empty, meaningless lives. So, what I will say is, I respect Vic. I do. Genuinely. But I don't agree. I don't think Vic truly understands what's going on here. I think that he just imagines that this is some kind of mistake. This can't possibly be real. No, it is. The people that you've worked with have been infected by an ideology that is evil. And it allows them to think that they're good and get attention and come across as the victim, which is currency to these people. So the response is to treat these people, to identify them as what they are. It's not to treat them with kindness. It's not to go, well, don't say anything bad about Jamie Markey. There's enough hatred in the world. The hatred that exists in the world comes mostly from people like these. People like Jamie Markey and Monica Rial. And while I respect Vic and his ability to compartmentalize and to forgive, there's a certain point where you have to defend yourself. And you have to say, no, I'm not going to simply lie down. I'm going to go scorched earth, and then I'm going to salt the fields. I'm going to make sure that this doesn't happen to anyone else. Because as much as I respect Vic, and let me be clear, I respect his position completely. I do, and I understand it. But at the same time, his position is, I want to get out of this as quickly as I can. If they just apologize to me, I would accept it. No, that's not acceptable. For all that Vic went through, for all that people who are paying attention to this have gone through, no. That would be completely unacceptable. Because that's not justice. Why on earth should Vic have to endure nearly 2 years of this type of abuse, of them trying to get him canceled from every show, of him having to go through this lawsuit, for them to just simply say, I'm sorry, Vic, we didn't know what we were doing. No. The correct answer is to absolutely obliterate these people from orbit, their reputation, their career prospects, to make it so that people, when they think of Monica Rial, and I'm not talking about contacting employers, I'm not talking about them getting canceled from conventions. What I'm talking about is making it clear that by the actions of these people, and not by the hypothetical actions or by the, this hurt my feelings 20 years ago actions, but by their observable actions that have evidence behind them, that when you think of Monica Rial and you think of Jamie Markey and you think of Ron Toy and you think of Sean Schimmel and you think of Chris Sabat, your reaction is no. Oh, look at that. Dragon Ball is coming out with another DVD. Oh, it's a Funimation thing with all these people. No, I'll just simply watch it somewhere else. Hell, maybe I'll pirate it. Maybe I'll watch it for free online. Oh, what's that? A My Hero Academia thing has come out and Chris Sabat is part of it? No, I'll watch the sub version or I'll pirate it. Simple as that. You don't have to go to these people. You don't have to let them know. You simply have to live your life in the best way possible. Oh, it's not even something that you should have to think about. Oh, another Funimation thing? Oh, who's part of it? Oh, what's that? Sean Schimmel is part of it? Jamie Markey is part of it? No thanks. I'll watch the sub, or I will simply avoid it. Because these people do not deserve to get a win off of this. Whatever the appeals court comes back with, and it's very likely that they're going to say that the judge was right in the first place, and who knows, where you go from there. But the reality is that even if the judges come back and say, we found the judge to be, completely right in this, the reality is that you have the choice to decide how you consume media. So when you hear that something from Jamie Marchi is coming out, when you hear something from Monica Rial is coming out, you can choose to say no. Simple as that. Doesn't have to be a big deal, and you spread that. Because these people have done something that is evil. They have tried to participate in getting somebody to end their own life. That is exactly what they tried to do to Vic. Vic never did that to anyone. Vic didn't try to get anyone to end their life. He didn't do any of what these people are saying that he did. But what they wanted him to do was to kill himself. These malicious, sick people wanted Vic to end his life. They thought that they could do it. It was a game to them. His mental health, his mental well-being was a game to them. They were going to play this game out, and Vic was ultimately going to end his life. And you know what? And this is morbid, and this is terrible, but if not for the fans stepping up and saying no and putting their foot down and making all the videos and showing the support, and Nick Rekieta and the GoFundMe, I think he very likely could have. I don't know Vic personally, but I can tell the devastating toll all this has. And if he were legitimately separated from his fans, if the fans had not stepped up and said, no, this isn't going to happen, I think that some very bad things could have happened. And so it's important to never forget that. Never forget what these people have done. And put that in your mind when you think about them. And make sure that when something comes up, there's a contract signing or something, that you make it a point to not contact these people, to not mention them. But simply when you go to your conventions, to get the signatures that you want, to buy the things that you want, to make a mental note to just not support them if you don't support them. It's as simple as that. That's what I'm doing, and it's worked well for me. I have no intention of buying any Funimation products going forward. I have no intention of buying anything that has to do with Chris Sabat or Monica Rial or Jamie Marchi or Sean Schemmel. I want nothing to do with it. And that's my choice. I'll watch the sub of Dragon Ball. Simple as that. I want to do this video because I think Vic deserves it. I think Vic deserves all the love and respect in the world. He is a genuinely kind-hearted person. And I could no longer remain silent in the face of all that has transpired in this. Watching the interview, I think Vic handled himself very well, but it's clear there's no fight in him. There's no fight in him at all. And after all they've done to him, after all they've put him through, after all they've said about him and what they tried to do to him, it's just that more people need to remember who these people are. They're not to be forgiven. They're not to be let off the hook. If Jamie Marchi came out with an apology tomorrow, no, she doesn't get off that easy. After everything she's done and everything she's put people through, and Monica Rial, same thing, no. No. We will still criticize, we will still comment on this, we will still call these people out for the terrible, evil people that they are, and we will make appropriate purchasing decisions based on that information. Anyway, that's where I'm going to end things. Hope you all have a great day, and I will see you next time.